Richard Lewis, the CEO of NPD Hotels, soon to be Whisper, is also a strong advocate of his project, and he's a consultant for what3words, and he has a very special presentation to kick us off with. So I'll leave it with you.
Okay, thank you. Morning, everyone. Just wait for it to come up. So who has heard of what3words? Okay, few hands. There are more and more every time I present. May I humbly suggest that if you haven't, then after today, you'll probably hear more and more about this company. So when you're traveling, you basically need three things. You need a map, you need a navigation system, and you need an address. And certainly mapping and satellite images have seen dramatic improvements over the last 2 decades. But addressing, when you come to think about it, hasn't changed for hundreds of years. And the world is pretty poorly addressed. Who found it easy to find number 7? Anybody found it easy to find number 7 to come to this building? In fact, 75% of the world has poor, inadequate, or no addressing system whatsoever. If you were in a taxi and you asked the taxi driver for number 54 Church Road, he would need more information in London because there are 19 church roads here in this city. And if you went to Mexico, there are 632 Juarez streets. Not easy if you have a new Mexican friend who's invited you to dinner. And when you're traveling, language is a major barrier. If any of you are not Welsh and you go to Wales, it's actually quite confusing. There's not even one vowel in some of their names. And even if you do know the language, you might not know the addressing system. Some of you might not know, for example, that in Japan, the system for numbering houses is based on chronology. So you could be number 1 with number 16 on your left and number 169 on your right, because that was the order of those buildings built in Tokyo City. And pins don't always help you to get to the right entrance. In this very tiny church, there are 2 entrances. But if you can imagine that you're trying to get to the British Museum here, Google drop a pin into the middle of the Blue Dome, but there are 4 roads surrounding this museum in London. So if you were arriving at Russell Square, which road do you go to find the entrance? With a Google map dropping a pin, it's not as easy as you might think. And can anyone tell me their pin? You can send a pin, but it's not easy to verbally, in fact, it's impossible to verbally communicate a pin. This restaurant, which wasn't here yesterday and won't be here tomorrow, happens to be the best place to have lunch with my colleagues today, but it doesn't have an address. And GPS coordinates are fantastically accurate and unique, but almost impossible for human beings to communicate to other human beings, or indeed for human beings to communicate to a machine. And I suggest that no one has ever suggested that you have a drink with them at 25 degrees, 9 minutes, 40.918 south and similar east. So we believe that it is time for a new and universal addressing system globally. We have divided the world's surface into 57 trillion 3-meter by 3-meter squares. And we've given every single square on planet Earth a very simple 3-word address. So where Scott is sitting is a completely different address to where I'm standing. These 3 words are from the dictionary. They're not gobbledygook. If, for example, you were going to Wales and you went to the village where my grandmother lived, which is called Clanfar Pukwingi Gokeri Quindorbut Clanticilio Gokokoch. You might not get your sat-nav in your car to actually understand what the first element of that village was. And what we've done in English, we've replicated in 25 other languages, and the languages are growing. Later this year, we'll be in Chinese. We're working on Hindi, Tamil, and Bengali. And these languages are all built bottom-up. So if I was to send a 3-word address, table, lamp, chair, to my friend in Moscow, he would open his smartphone or his PDA, and that 3-word address would be in Russian. And the Russian is not a translation of the English. So, for example, in English, the word snowman is not one word in French, but 3. It's bonhomme de neige. So you can't just translate one language into another. We're used in over 170 countries around the world, in over 600 businesses, and very recently, 22 of Britain's police forces have now integrated our system into their storm control and command system, so that every accident, every incident has a very simple 3-word address. We work with governments. There are 9 countries around the world that are now using what3words as their addressing system for their National Postal Service, including Nigeria, who've now signed with us. And that's 190 million people, of which only 10% have any address whatsoever. Imagine having no address, where you cannot open a bank account. You cannot get social services to find you. So we do a lot of work with Gateway Health in South Africa, helping pregnant women to get the services that they need quickly and rapidly, and saving lives. We were saving lives in Mexico City and Mexico last year at the earthquake by changing the GPS coordinates into 3-word addresses in Spanish, and then getting the first responders using our system in Mexico in Spanish to save lives last year. And we are also a partner of Mercedes.
Before you start your journey, get the 3-word address of your destination. Press the voice button and say,
navigate to what3words, Vibe, Defaults, Classic.
Confirm the correct 3-word address to see your route.
The line number, please.
1.
Number 1. Would you like to start route guidance?
Yes.
Starting route guidance.
Follow the directions to your precise destination.
In fact, Mercedes, who only signed with us last September, now have over 1 million vehicles with our system embedded in their sat-nav for speech recognition. So you can get into one of those Mercedes right now, press a button, and you follow that route, and you can go to anywhere on this planet. Every single boat on this planet already has a 3-word address for its mooring place. Every single one, done, finished. 57 trillion squares already named. So what does this mean for you guys and us in the travel and tourism industry? And I'm a simple hotelier. It means that you can add a real level of guest experience and service by giving the precise 3-word address to the front door of your hotel, to the entrance to your car park in a city, when you might be in New York in a one-way system and you've missed the entrance to the car park, there's no valet service, and it takes you 20 minutes to go around and get to that entrance. So Kempinski is a partner, as are all of the 35 global Hotel Alliance brands, including Viceroy, Anantara, Outrigger, etc. All of them now have a 3-word address on their website. We are partnering with Preferred Hotel Group, my old company, and all 1,300 of their hotels, including historic hotels of America and Europe, will have a 3-word address. This is small luxury hotels. They use us not only online, but also in their printed collateral. And all of the D&D restaurants in London have a 3-word address, some of the top 45 properties here in town. And what hotels are now using is not just a 3-word address to give to a guest on their website, but embedding it in the booking confirmation, so that when that guest gets that electronic reservation confirmation, they have the 3-word address, they click on it, they don't even need our app or our website, they use the mapping company of their choice, and they go directly to that 3-word address. Trans-Siberian Railway, Lonely Planet. Every single point of interest along that route through Lonely Planet now has a 3-word address. So in conclusion, I just want to show you a quick video.
Have you ever struggled to find a friend? Had a taxi take you to the wrong entrance? A package delivered to the wrong address? Or couldn't explain where you were? We developed what3words because addressing around the world should be better. And talking about a location can be really hard. Street addresses are often not precise enough and don't exist in parks, rural areas, or rapidly developing places. People struggle to find each other, and businesses fail to reach customers. 75% of countries lack a reliable address system or suffer from no addressing at all. It's frustrating, costs the economy billions, and affects lives. what3words is the solution. A global address system made up of 57 trillion 3-meter squares, each identified by a unique 3-word address. It's as simple as saying table, lamp, spoon to find that specific location on Earth. 3-word addresses are precise, yet easy to remember. They can be written down, spoken, or shared by email or SMS. Easier words are in more populated areas, and addresses that sound the same are spaced far apart to avoid confusion. The whole service even works offline, without the need for a data connection. And what we've done in English, we've replicated in many other languages, with plenty more to come. You can discover and share a 3-word address using our free app or online map. And partners in over 170 countries have integrated our code into their apps, tools, and services. Logistics companies use them to improve deliveries, saving valuable time and money. Emergency services and aid agencies now locate people in need and coordinate support teams using 3-word addresses. They're being used in mapping and navigation tools, and by travelers and adventurers to locate hidden gems. 3-word addresses are being added to photos, contact details, and social feeds. And the code is being built into the mobility and drone systems of tomorrow. Now everywhere has a 3-word address. The most astonishing places, the most exciting places, and the places that need it most. We're helping to make the world a less frustrating, more efficient, and safer place. 3 words at a time.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that.
Thanks.